Hello, good morning everyone. Welcome to this session. So now I'm gonna start my presentation. And my presentation topic is about exploring sustainable supply chains in the UK fast fashion, a case study of H&M. And the module code is 7BUS2043. Module title Integrated Management Research Project. An assignment based is narrative video or digital presentation of finding. My student ID is 22027. In this presentation, H&M will be based as a case study to illustrate the intricate realm of sustainable supply chains in the UK fast fashion sector. This study objective is to investigate the opportunities and constraints associated with sustainability in this specific economic sector through an extensive process of research and data analysis. This study assesses the influence that H&M sustainability initiative have had on fashion industry. This study will be devoted to the topic of fashion. This discussion will make a scholarly contribution to the field of sustainable fashion by examining the complex relationship between corporate operation, environmental impacts, and social concern. Research aim and objective. The study's goals are to find out how H&M efforts to be more eco-friendly affect their supply chain and how will the match up with customer expectations and industry trends. Fast fashion business need to know about sustainable supply chains because of the damage they do to earth and people's lives. Companies like H&M are under pressure to make their supply chains more sustainable as a result of customers who think more about social shopping and environmental protection. The point of this study is to teach people who work in and buy fast fashion about the sector problems and opportunities for long-term growth. It's possible to learn these things by looking at what H&M does from this point of view. There is more talk about doing business in a responsible way in the study. It also gives different ideas for how to make the fashion industry more eco-friendly. Research question. How effective are H&M sustainability initiative in making the fast fashion industry more ethical and reducing their impact on the environment? Which problems does H&M the most trouble with when it tries to make its supply chain more sustainable? How do these problems affect the company's total efforts to gain it? What do customers in the UK think about H&M efforts to be more environment friendly? How do these throws affect their decision about what to buy and how loyal they are to the brand? Context. The UK has a big industry in fast fashion, which has low prices and short production cycles. When talking about fashion, H&M is famous for its item. But as people learn more about sustainability, action are being looked at more closely. It becomes more important for H&M brand and to deal with social and environmental problems that the company works on sustainability projects. The company's strategy for sustainability changes consumer attitude and the industry standard in where they go behind its own operation. To evaluate H&M sustainability efforts, the result, it is important to know how the fast fashion industry works. Context. The UK has a big industry in fast fashion, which has low prices and short production cycles. When talking about fashion, H&M is famous for its item. But as people learn more about sustainability, action are being looked at more closely. It become more important for H&M brand. And to deal with social and environmental problems that the company works on sustainability projects. The company's strategy for sustainability changes consumer attitude and the industry standard in where they go behind its own operation. To evaluate H&M sustainability efforts, the result, it is important to know how the fast fashion industry works. Data collection of methodology. The planned way of collect data for analysis is part of the data collection methodology. Some of the main sources of information are academic papers, reports on the industry, and H&M sustainability statements. This large collection shed light on how the fast fashion industry supply chain is good for the environment. Quality analysis is a way to find patterns and themes in data. Content analysis is one example of qualitative method that reveals the main concept and trends behind something. This presentation employs the methodological approach to explain H&M sustainability efforts and how they have affected the industry. Data analysis and finding. Presentation of key findings from the data analysis. The data analysis was completed with the discovery of several important facts that are relevant to the fast fashion industries. Adoption of sustainable supply chains practice, especially with the regard to H&M. Above all, H&M was of eco-friendly materials and production methods, shows that they are trying hard to have less of effect on the world around them. People want to buy things that are made in the honest way. So there is a more and more focus on being open and responsible all along the supply chain. According to the research, people who buy things, spend money, and work for the government are more interested in fashion that is environmentally friendly. Some people are glad that H&M has cut down on its water and carbon dioxide pollution. In the long run, this shows that the company cares about the environment. The findings show that for lighting industry to change over time, people need to work together and form ties. H&M has learned that though environmental problems can only be fixed if everyone works together with suppliers, NGOs, and other companies in the same field. Discussion on the sustainability efforts of H&M, its UK supply chain. There are many environmentally friendly parts of H&M supply chain in the UK that help deal with the fast fashion industry, common social and environmental issues. It takes a lot of work for H&M to make its supply chains clearer and easier to understand. Because of these events, people know more about where the clothes they wear come from and how they are made. The business has spent a lot of money on recycled polyester and organic cotton so that it can use fewer resources and hurt the environmental less. As H&M wants to follow international rules, it has made it easier for suppliers to work and has pushed for fair labor practice with partners and other important people in the fashion industry. H&M works to bring about new ideas and good changes all along the fashion value chain. As we stands its notes simple to understand the supply chain, or build circular economics to handle waste and overconsumption. Assessment of the effectiveness of H&M sustainability practice. Restructuring the supply chains and lowering the company's social and environmental effect are needed for sustainability plans to work. This is one of many things that determines how will these methods work. With lower pollution and more fair business practice, H&M has made significant progress in the sustainability. To judge how will these efforts work, the result and long-term effects must be looked at. Reducing waste, lowering H&M carbon footprint, and improving the health and happiness of its employees are some ways to measure the company's sustainability efforts. Getting stakeholders involved and being open are important for making sure that the company keeps its promises. To make the fashion industry more socially and environmentally responsible, sustainability policies need to be constantly checked, evaluated, and changed to make sure they work and address new concerns. Evaluation of the finding and their implications. The findings emphasize the challenges and nuance of sustainable supply chains methods in the first page, particularly those used by H&M in the UK. It's important to look at this finding in the context of bigger picture. Even if the numbers show some positive things like less carbon pollution or more opens, it's important to learn more about greenwashing problem in the supply chains and eco-friendly solution. There needs to be a fair look at the trade-offs between people and the earth in order to figure out how sustainable fast fashion farmers. Every business, not just H&M, needs to know the finding. People should behave better. New rules should be made, and group activities should happen because of these facts. Find these areas that need work so that more study and planning can lead to dress practice that are better for the environment. To make things better, these areas need to be found so that the next research and plan choice can lead to fashion practice that are better for the earth. Calculations. The study looks at how sustainable fast fashion companies' supply chains are, with a focus on H&M activities in the UK. Facts show that carbon emissions and openness have gotten, but there are still problems. Concerns include workers' rights running out the resource and the complexity of the supply line. To do this, H&M needs a full sustainability plan that takes into account economic, environmental, and social issues. H&M should improve its relationships with its suppliers to make things more open and accountable. It should also invest in new technologies to cut down on waste and resource use, and it should encourage teamwork across industries to make systematic changes. Customers, non-governmental groups, and lawmakers must all be involved for business practice to be in line with sustainability goals and meet the changing needs of society. H&M can lower its risks, boost its image, and help the fashion industry, society, and the environment by making sustainability a core part of its business strategy. Reflection. I learned how important it is to carefully plan and collect data after thinking about my study. it might be necessary to get better at choosing literature sources in order to fully understand how the sustainable supply chain works. I knew why it was important to use both qualitative and quantitative data analysis method to get a better understanding of the topic of the study. I have learned that the best way to explain complicated problems is through clear conversation and show results. I want to get better at analyzing and interpreting data so that my future studies won't go. This study was very helpful to the fast fashion business because it shed light on sustainability and showed that research, method, and practice could grow. Thank you.